Hi all, welcome to DevOps Hub. This is Sampath Shivkumar Bodeti. Hope you all are doing great. So what we are going to discuss today? We are going to discuss today how to do etcd backup and restore in our Kubernetes cluster. So let's get started. So this is my Kubernetes cluster. I'm having 2 worker nodes and 1 control plane node with Kubernetes version of v1 30.4. We all know kubectl, kubelet, some people call it, is a way to interact with our Kubernetes cluster. We give so many commands like if we want to know how many pods are running inside our cluster, we give a command like kubectl get pods. And the moment we execute this command, we will get the number of pods running in our cluster. How do you think this is happening? What is happening in background? So the moment you execute kubectl get command, this is going to send a request to kube API server. Kube API server checks whether the user or the the person who sent this command is authentic or authorized and authentic or not. If both are satisfying, it will just simply make a query to etcd and give you back the result. So Kube API server is not going to check the number of pods running in your cluster simply by querying to each node for you. So this is how things work in background. Kube API server is only going to query the etcd. Why? Because etcd is the single source of truth for our entire Kubernetes cluster. That means every resource, everything, all Kubernetes objects, configurations, entire cluster information is saved as key value pairs inside etcd. So it is very important component. It is like a storage backend for our Kubernetes cluster. Well, so let's try to, as today's session is all about etcd, let's try to understand what is etcd. So what is etcd? Etcd, like we have told, it's a distributed key value store which provides a reliable way to to store the data which is going to be accessed by a distributed system or a huge number of servers. And Sampath, is etcd something only belongs to Kubernetes thing? No, etcd is one of the important component, like it's the backend, storage backend for Kubernetes cluster resources. But apart from that, like we have discussed, it is a distributed key value store. So wherever you need a application, like wherever you need to store the information or data which is need to be accessed by huge servers or distributed systems, the etcd is the right application to go with, right? So definitely it's not something which is limited to Kubernetes. If required, you can install one server, or on your own PC you can install the etcd and start working on it. You can start creating some key pairs. You can insert, modify, delete. You can work it locally. You don't need to install Kubernetes to install etcd, right? How to do this installation is, we can simply go to any official documentation of etcd. There we can copy the one of the release, like wget command, then we can untar it. We will get some binaries, just install and you're ready to go. So like in Kubernetes, we are having kubectl command to interact with the Kubernetes. Is there any clients for etcd? I mean to say, like, okay, you have installed etcd on your PC locally. How you are going to insert? How you are going to insert these key pairs? How you are going to query? How you are going to delete or modify those things? So for that, etcd is giving you 2 clients, etcdctl, etcdutl. 2 clients it is giving you. Those things you can see, once you have unzipped that one, along with the binary of etcd, you are also going to see 2 binaries, etcdctl, etcdutl. So let's try to understand a bit more about etcdctl and etcdutl. Why etcd is maintaining 2 clients, 2 command lines? What are the purpose at a high level, of course? So etcdctl is a primary command line which we use to like create a key pair, delete a key pair, modify a key pair. For those purpose, like primary networking related things, we use etcdctl to create a snapshot. And etcdutl is mainly focusing upon whenever you want to work at low level, um, etcd data files level, such as defrag, uh, restore a snapshot or verify a snapshot. So for these kind of activities like management tasks, you are going to use etcdutl. So etcd is maintaining two clients and given a purpose for them. So depending upon your purpose, you can choose which is going to be the right fit for you. And Sampath, why we are discussing all these things like etcdctl, etcdutl? Why? Because today's topic is, like I already told you, to take a backup, that is a snapshot of etcd, and to restore. For those things, for doing those two tasks, like taking a backup of, like creating a snapshot and restoring a snapshot, we are going to use two commands. And one command is like taking a backup of etcd cluster. We use etcdctl command, like etcdctl snapshot save snapshot name. And for restoring purpose, right now you can use etcdctl as well, but it is in deprecated, and mostly by it will be removed by version 3.6. It's already documented. We'll show you. So that's the reason for the restoration purpose. What etcd is suggesting us is to go with etcdutl command. That is /etcdutl -- data dir, the location where you want to create a directory out of the snapshot you have taken. So this is the thing. These are the two commands which we are going to use in this task of creating backup and restoring the backup at high level. And if you have observed, I have not mentioned any certificates or CSRs keys with the command like etcdctl snapshot snapshot.db command. I have not given those things, but they are pretty much required. Why? Because the time we have set up the cluster using Kubedium has installed the TLSA certifications for secure connection. So that's the reason we need those certifications and keys to authenticate ourselves and execute, right? So let's see the things at high level, like whatever we have discussed, how things are going to be seen at high level. So let's see. It's the control plane node. I already told you my Kubernetes cluster is having 3 nodes, 1 control and 2 worker nodes. And worker nodes are the actual thing which is going to deal with workloads. And control plane is only going to host a Kubernetes control plane components like API server, etcd, scheduler, manager, right? So I'm just going to discuss about, as this is going to be a snapshot of etcd, and etcd is a pod, static pod, which is running on control plane node. I have taken this segment. Okay. So yes, this is a control plane node and etcd is running as a pod, right? And this is a static pod. You know, this static pod's difference between pod and static pod. This static pod manifest file we maintain at /etcd Kubernetes manifest file. And that those directory, if you keep any pod manifest, kubelet on that particular node is going to take responsibility to host it. So those pods created by kubelet directly without involvement of kube API server is called static pods, right? So control plane node is there. On top of it, a static pod is running, right? And this static pod is having a container inside which etcd is running, etcd, and this etcd is storing the data. Like whenever we are trying to create any Kubernetes resources, those things kube API server is storing on etcd at a particular file path, that is at a file system like /var lib etcd. This is the place where actual data of like entire Kubernetes related data is going to be saved. Just imagine if the setup is initially like this. that is control plane node is there, and the etcd pod, static pod is running on top of it. All of sudden, you are working on Kubernetes thing, you have deployed some deployments, you have created some secrets, and all of a sudden, due to some reason, the pod has got crashed and it's restarted. Do you understand what happened? Do you think what will happen about the secrets, the deployments, or the pods you have deployed till now? Do you think they will be part of cluster? Do you think? No, because the moment the pod has restarted, the files, entire file system, because now we have not persisted this data anywhere, these files will also get deleted, and the moment it recreated, it is a fresh start, like almost like etcd will be blank. So your Kubernetes resources will be deleted and your Kubernetes cluster will also be blank. So that's the reason when we have created this cluster using Kuberium. If you have seen my videos, we have already made 2 videos how to create a Kubernetes cluster using Kuberium. Next, how to upgrade our cluster using Kuberium. If you have not watched them, I will leave the links in description. Please go ahead. So that's the reason when we have tried to install our cluster using Kuberium, Kuberium has, what it has done is created one volume of type host path. Okay, what it has done is it has created a volume of host path on the control plane node at var lib etcd. So understand, the file system of the container is different, the file system of the control node is different. I hope you know this by this time. So what Kuberium has done is it's created a volume and has configured that volume in static pod in manifest file, and volume mount the container file system var lib etcd to control plane file system var lib etcd. So now imagine what has just happened is the files which are stored by etcd at var lib etcd are now part of the control plane node, because control plane node is serving as a control plane node file system var lib etcd is the backup, is the storage of the container file system. Like simply if I have to say, the moment they both have volume mount concepts, the moment the Kuberium has created a volume of host path and mounted this thing to container file system at var lib etcd, whatever files which are at container level var lib etcd are actually now the files at control plane node. That means whatever things are happening at container level, that will be a part of control plane node at var lib etcd. So why what it will bring on table means, even if the pod has crashed, container restart unexpectedly, assume that before the container has crashed, you have deployed some 10 deployments on your Kubernetes and some 4 or 5 secrets. So the moment the pod has got crashed, it got recreated, or the container got restart, whatever be the reason. So as the Kuberium has created a volume of type host path and mounted those paths, now whatever the previous state of Kuberium is now part of control plane node, which is absolutely safe. So the moment pod get recreated, the container got restart, it start working from the current data. Data is not lost. It will refer the data from var lib etcd of control plane node. So this is the thing which is happening. Okay, so this is how Kubernetes is able to sustain its data or its state. Now just imagine what we have achieved now is even the pod, static pod goes down or container got restart, we are able to manage that our Kubernetes resources will not get vanished. But there is an issue. Even now, the data of etcd, the state of etcd is managed at control plane node level. So what happened when a hardware level issue occur at control plane node, or someone accidentally delete the value etcd at control plane node, then also it will be the same. Kubernetes etcd data is lost, which is something not desirable. So that's the reason we always try to take some backups, okay, like snapshots, and save these snapshots remotely, so that tomorrow if any disruption occur unknowingly, we can get access of those backup, restore them, and we can restore the Kubernetes previous state to the state of previous backup. So that's the reason why we take backups, we take snapshots, and we restore them, right? So now we have like SSH to our control plane node. Now we have to take a backup of etcd. Just imagine this is a fresh Kubernetes cluster, no resources are there. We have created some 10 deployments we have created right now. So these 10 deployments are reflecting at our etcd. So now our etcd is consisting of our 10 deployments. So now let's take a snapshot of our current etcd cluster. How we can take snapshots, we have already discussed. In order to communicate with etcd, we are having two utility tools, etcdctl, etcdutl. For taking snapshot, we require those binaries, and now we have logged in like SSH to our control plane node, and on control plane node we did not install etcd, so those binaries will not be part of that. So let's first bring those binaries here. How we can bring these binaries, we already discussed. We can simply go to the etcd official documentation, copy the link of binaries, wget these things, extract, and you can work on it. You can install, and now you can work with etcd command line tools. So if you remember, the command to take a snapshot is etcdctl with endpoint. This endpoint is referring to the etcd, where etcd is running, etcd container with container port, at what address and what port it is running. So this etcd command, etcdctl command is trying to reach it. And how it will reach it, how will we know at what address it is there? That's the reason in command we are specifying ---- endpoints. And as we already discussed, while setting up the Kubernetes cluster for data encryption, like safety purpose, Kubedium has installed some TLS certificates. For those purpose, we have to mention ---- certs, ---- certs, and ---- keys to authenticate yourself while executing these commands. Then you will give a command of snapshot save snapshot.db. This is the snapshot.db is the file name. You can give any custom name for your requirement. So the moment we execute this command, etcdctl is going to contact to etcd pod inside the container, and then it's going to take the current state backup. What is the current state? We already discussed that 10 deployments. 10 deployments we have created, and that is the part, that is the Kubernetes workload right now on our current state. So it will take a snapshot of that. And as we have executed this command from our control plane node, and we didn't mention any path, so the current path where we have executed this command, there a snapshot.db will be saved, right? Now understand, this is a snapshot of our current Kubernetes cluster. What is the current Kubernetes cluster? It is having 10 deployments, right? So now what we will do is, we have successfully taken the snapshot. Now what is the next step? We have to restore it. At this point of time, if we restore, there is no use, because current state is also the same. The state which we are going to restore is also the same. That's why what we will do now is, we will Now we will delete this in our current state. We will delete these 10 deployments. Okay, the moment we do this, the Kube API server is going to save the details in etcd. That is, now in etcd also the 10 deployments in etcd state, which is a part of control plane node, varlib etcd. Now control the deployments files got deleted. Now if you do give a command like kubectl get pods, you will not get anything. Kubectl get deployment, you will not get anything. That means the current state is blank. But remember, even though we have deleted in current state, do you think the snapshot we have taken, will it get impacted? No, because it was taken at the time when 10 deployments were part of the Kubernetes cluster. So still this snapshot.db will consist of 10 deployments. So now let's try to restore it using kubectl utl command. Okay, and then the command to do so is etcd utl --data var lib etcd /new snapshot restore snapshot.db. If you have observed one thing, we did not give any certifications or keys with this command, because previously we were trying to communicate with the pod, etcd pod, from our control plane node. But now we no need to communicate with any etcd pods, because snapshot is available locally, right? It's available like binary format. Now what we have to do is, what's restoring will do is, it will take this binary and it's like a tar file. Imagine we are just trying to do untar, that's it. So snapshot.db is not a tar file, just for your information, for easy understanding I have told you that snapshot.db is a binary file as of now, which directly etcd cannot use or save its save the Kubernetes state as of now. So for that purpose, to make it usable in format, what we will do is use etcdutl command to restore the snapshot. This is the command. The moment we execute this command, etcdutl will take the snapshot, create a directory at the given path. We have mentioned var lib etcd /new. This is the new directory where we want to extract all snapshot.db details, Kubernetes details. So it has done its work. Now, if you go ls, like cd and ls at varlib, you will see etcd and etcd /new. etcd is the previous state, our current state. It's currently using. We are using etcd only. Just we have, what we have done is etcd /new, one new directory we have created, and this directory and this directory etcd /new is going to have that 10 deployments part of it. So we have successfully restored this one. So what do you think? If you do kubectl get pods, do you think we are going to get 10 pods in console? No, because even though we have restored this one, it's just like one file created on our control plane node at some random path. The path is varlib etcd /new. So it has created, but the container running, the container etcd container is not still using this one. It's still bounded to the varlib etcd directory only. Okay, so now what's our next move is, we have to change the path from varlib etcd to varlib etcd /new. The moment we do this, now etcd container will see that etcd is having 10 deployments in the etcd state. The key value pairs it will look. Then immediately, as it is a single source of truth, when the Kubernetes immediately set up those 10 deployments as a part of our Kubernetes cluster, it will include them. So now if you give kubectl command like kubectl get pods, you are going to see the pods from all those 10 deployments. So this is the flow we are talking. This is the flow for doing taking a snapshot, that is backup of etcd and restoring it. at high level we have seen. Now whatever we have discussed till now, we try to do it hands-on. Okay, and this is my AWS account. Like I have told you, 3 nodes are there: control plane node, worker node 1, and worker node 2. I have already SSH to my control plane node. Let me show you. So nothing is there. kubectl get nodes, kubectl get pods. So currently I am having 3 pods. For example, I have told you like 10 pods were part of my cluster, but right now three pods are part of my cluster. I mean 3 pods are running in my Kubernetes cluster as of now. And what are there? It's Nginx and testng, test. These are the 3 pods which are running. So if required, we can do -o to see on what worker nodes it's running. Like 2 are working running on worker node 2 and 1 is working on worker node 1. Okay, no issue. Now let me quickly show you the static file configuration of etcd. First, let me show you. So this is the pod where etcd control plane. This is the pod which is containing the etcd container. It is running, and we know this is a static pod. And what is the manifest file location of this static pod? It's like /etc Kubernetes/manifest. See, etcd.yaml, kube API server, kube controller manager, and kube scheduler manager. All these things are part of this directory because all these things are running as a static pods. And we are right now we are only interested in etcd. So let's try to see what's inside this etcd.yaml file. Right, it's starting from here. We can see the image it is using kind Kubernetes version v1 kind pod. We know that namespace kube API server. The pod name is etcd. Container. In container session, there are a couple of commands, right? And the image you can see from here, it is using registry.kubernetes k8s.io/etcd 3.5.12. That is, etcd version is the etcd version which we are currently using is 3.5. Like we have discussed, from 3.6 onwards, okay, etcd is going to stop the support for etcdctl command. That means now if we require, we can use the etcdctl command to take snapshot as well as restore it as well. But we will not do like that. We will see both utility tools. Like we will use etcd etcdctl command for taking snapshot and etcdutl command to restore that one. So now what's the main thing you have to observe here is data dir. So in the container level, varlib etcd is the path where this container is maintaining its Kubernetes etcd data, like cluster information, cluster data at container level. And like I have told you, see, there is a volume name of etcd data which is of host path, and the host path, the path is like varlib etcd itself. If required, we can see at host level we can change the path, but at container level and host level, Kubedium has maintained the same thing, and we will go the same flow, same way, right? So that's it. Now what we will do is, like I have told you, Now where we are in our control plane. Now we have to take a snapshot, right? Right now I have already shown you 3 pods are part of my Kubernetes. So if I take a snapshot, those 3 pods will be a part of those snapshot. And to take a snapshot, I have to interact with my etcd container, right? etcd pod inside etcd container. So the address where I can find out this etcd is, yeah, initial cluster, all same. This is the thing, like not this one. If you see this one, 2380. So the etcd runs at port container at port of 23979. So that is not something. Listening client URL. Yes, I guess this is the thing which we have to go with. 80, 80, 70, yeah, this is the thing which we have to go with. Let's make a note of that. And let's drive to Kubernetes doc. etc. The first link we can go with operating etcd cluster in Kubernetes. So here in this documentation, not just backup and restore, there are some more operations also given, but what is our requirement, we will go with that only. If you can see, here it is, backup on etcd cluster, built-in snapshot. So here you can see the command to go with is this. For verification purpose, you can either go with etcdutl, etcdutl or etcdctl, which is deprecated, like what I have told you already, deprecated since version 3.5x, and it will be deleted, removed for version 3.6. Okay, so as of now we will take a snapshot. This is the command, just copy it on notepad, save it, replace the address with yours. Port number will be the same, so just this 127 dot this one is sufficient. Just copy, it's already the same. Okay, so yeah, advertise client URL is something which we have to look at, because this is saying like any client who want to communicate with etcd, you should use this URL. That is the purpose of that, and that is what we actually need. So no doubt, go ahead, this is the one. So just replace this one, correct. Then CA certifications, certificate, then server certificate, then key. These things we have to take copy from this configuration. Like this is the CA cert, you can copy this one. See, at CA cert, copied. Then you need a key, and this is the certificate of certificate file, server certificate, copy that. take a precaution while copying these things. Be careful. Take some extra precaution. If you overwrite or mess up anything, it's not going to be, you're not going to get the desired output. Then you have to give the key. Where is the key? Dot key. Yes, this is the one. So right, I guess everything is correct. Now let's check the command. See, and by the way, we don't need this one right now, because earlier in etcd versions what it happened, it's having two versions like etcdctl version 2 and 3. By default 2 used to come. Then the commands we need to work with was in version 3, so explicitly we need to give this etcdctl hyphen API equals to 3. But from version right now, the version in which we are, there is no need for explicitly giving this one, because by default itself it is showing the version 3 commands. So I am deleting this one. I will also show you, no issue. So yeah, just let's verify this one. etcdctl endpoints, okay. csat, done. Okay, key, okay. Snapshot, save, backup file. So what's the name of the backup file you want to give? You can give here like anything like snapshot.db. Okay, so let's copy it and let's go to the terminal. What do you think? If we give this command, will it work or not? It will not work, because we are in our control plane mode like we have discussed earlier, and we have not installed etcd server here. So definitely those utils, command line tools, will not be part of this server. So instead of putting everything and show you, it will not work. Just let me type simply etcdctl, enter. See, it is showing that the command is not found, and it's also suggesting, like install the etcdctl command using like sudo apt etcd/client. Don't do this one. If you do this one, what will happen, only etcdctl will be the part of that, and etcdutl will not be part of this package. Let me show you. Okay, we have installed. Now let me type etcdctl. See, it is coming. It's working, right? It is having some bunch of commands, and what I have told you, mainly by default API version will be 3, right? So that's the reason I have deleted that one. Previously it used to be 2, so now you don't need to use that one. Directly it is by default it is giving the API version of 3, so directly you can execute. And what I have told you, if you go this way, etcd utl will not be part of this package. See, it has not come. So what is the right way to go is simply go to the documentation part of etcd.io. There you can simply go with docs, installation thing. There are some releases it is showing. Just click that one. It will take you to the GitHub. So this is the version. Currently it is latest version 3.5.15. So what I will do is, here, as I am working with Ubuntu Linux, going to copy one of the binary. Be careful, here it is showing ARM AMD. So what is your version? Mine is AMD. not ARN. So copying that link address, coming to the terminal, wget now if I ls, see that binary we have downloaded, but it is in tar, so we have to untar it. Command to untar is tar xvf tar file. It will untar it for you. It has done for me. Let's go inside that. Now if I do ls, like I have told you, it is going to give you 3 binaries apart from etcd, etcdctl, etcdutl. Now if I want, I can execute etcdutl from here. See, it is coming. So you don't need to install these things. From this current working directory only we can do our things like taking snapshot, restoring and everything, right? So ls, so now here using, and by the way, previously we have downloaded this etcdctl command, so it will work from anywhere. Okay, just understand what I'm trying to say. The binaries, but etcd utl will not work anywhere because we have not installed that one. For that we need to be inside this particular folder directory, then only it will work. See, it will not work here, but the moment, let me copy this one, the moment I go inside where the binary is there, if I execute this command here, etcd utl, okay, utl, it will work here. You will think, Sampath, you have given one mistake. So let me copy this command, go back, ls, show you. It will not work here. Okay, so we will go in a place where both commands will work, and like now we have to take a snapshot. This is the thing we have to copy. This is the command to take a snapshot. I will give sudo because I am like normal user. The certificates and all will be, the owner will be root. So if I execute this command as a normal user, conflicts will come. So I don't want those things. What happened? Snapshot error, TLSI private key does not match publicly. Okay, I guess we have given some mismatching things. Let me quickly check it. So let's check it. Okay, I have understood. It is clearly saying that private key doesn't match with public key. It is telling about key, not cert or anything. So -- key /etcd Kubernetes. Okay, here I have given peer key. It is wrong. Okay, sorry for that, and no issue. By doing wrong things only we will learn. kubectl get, otherwise simply sudo cat /etc/kubernetes manifest etc file. So from here what I have done wrong is key. See, I have given this key. This is not the key which we are supposed to give. What I have done is simply I have a saw.key extension for key file. I have picked that one. So it is not the right one. So what is the right one? Let's see. Advertise client dot cert. See here. So simply by dot extension I have sorted out, but there is one more dot key which I have not observed earlier. So this is the right one. See, server dot key. So let's copy this one. Okay, rest of all things are good. Copy this one and place it in key session. Now this should work. Now let's go to command terminal. Let's clear it. Yeah. See, success. If I do ls right now, what I have already told you, where the terminal, like current working directory, from where you are giving this command, there the snapshot will come and save. So successfully we have created a snapshot. So like I have told you, right now in my Kubernetes kubectl get pod, 3 pods are there. So this snapshot will consist of these 3 pods. So after taking this snapshot, what is the next thing? We have to restore it. So what I will do is quickly kubectl delete. I will delete these pods like nginx, test ng. Done. Now if I give kubectl get pod command, it is saying that no resources are found in your default namespace. Like I have already told you, will this impact the snapshot.dp? Will the pods which are part of this one will get deleted by this? No, only the current state will get impacted. Now what we have to do is we have to restore it. Go to the official documentation. Now you can go with restore on etcd cluster. It is giving some warnings, like it is asking to stop API server before doing restore. Okay, there is a couple of reasons, because just imagine if Kube API server is on and some of the user, because you will not be the only person to use this cluster, right? You have taken a snapshot at this point of time. The pods running in Kubernetes cluster are 3 and the snapshot are 3. By mistake, if you kept Kube API server on and some other user launch some other workload, then the current state will be like some new resource will be coming which is not part of snapshot. And what I have told you, and the moment you restore the snapshot, the current working workload, like he may create one secret, he might create one deployment, it will get lost, because the etcd, the Kubernetes cluster thinks the single source of truth, the etcd only. The moment you restore, whatever the resource part of that snapshot will only be reflected in the Kubernetes cluster. So in order to have this miscommunication or issues, he is advising to stop the Kube API server, and there will be some couple of other reasons as well. So we will follow like what he has said. Let's copy the command. See here he is giving like 2 commands. Either you can go with etcdctl and you can go with etcdutl. We will go with this one, right? Just copy it, paste this one, and the directory let me show you. So if I ls this one, etcd, this is the directory. So see, this is the directory. In this directory, the current Kubernetes cluster state is maintaining. Now what I want to do is, in this path only, var lib, I want to create one etcd/-new, right? /new I want to create. You don't need to create here, just for the path I am copying here and deleting everything. Now what I will do is, in the command, like the data directory location, it is asking like where you want to restore this snapshot. Here I will give this path. So the moment I give this path, even though the etcd.-new is not created, it will create this directory for you. So just copy this one, sudo, copy this one, like I have told you, the etcd's utl binary is here. You can execute this one here. So let's, before giving it, let's cross check it. etcd utl data type var lib etcd /new snapshot restore snapshot. Right, this snapshot is also in current directory only, so no issue, we can do it. No file or directory. Okay, okay. It will work now. wd. Okay. Let's give the full path. Of the snapshot. Right. It should work now. We are not giving any shortcuts. The reason why I am getting this error is, see, I have not installed this binary. If I just simply copy this to any of the path, it will work from anywhere else. I am just doing some fishy work. I don't want to do that one. So that's the reason I'm getting this error. Okay, I do one thing. Instead of giving sudo and like this, it is getting confused. I think I will do sudo su hyphen. I will become root. Okay. Why all these things? Let me come out. What I will do is let me start this. What I will do is, like, I will copy this to path. Like slash usr local bill. This is the path which is known to the Linux. So if I copy this thing here, we can work with this command anywhere. So permission denied. Yes, I have to give sudo. It's done. Now it should work correct. It should work in this directory as well as anywhere else. Now I have come out. Right, it's working. So now what I can do is, I can give this command. What is it saying? No such file or directory. Yes. Okay. Yes. Let me try. Okay, I understood what mistake I have done. Uh, it's like typo mistake. See, it is snapshot here. I have wrongly given short here. That's the reason we are getting this error. Sometimes see, small things will make big troubles. Let's quickly rename this one. It will look silly, but created a lot of obstacle, right? Now just copy this one. Now everything should be fine. Sudo I have given etcdutl data varlib etcd. This is the very important thing we have to observe. Like etcd/-new. This is a new directory which I want to create out of the snapshot, which is at this path. Done. Simple. Oh, one typo error has created this much disturbance for us. Now, if you just go to varlib and see, previously there was etcd. Right now our etcd pod is maintaining the state here only. A new one created etcd/new. Now just understand, this is the directory which we have created with the help of snapshot. So if we mount etcd pod to use this one, then right now see kubectl get pod. There are no pods, right? Because in current etcd directory we have deleted. This is the state, but in this what we have restored from the snapshot, it will be having like 3 pods, right? The moment we link this one, mount the Kubernetes etcd pod with this one, this location at this varlib etcd-new, the things will get changed. The Kubernetes will restore to its previous state. So as per advice, let's stop the Kube API server for a while. How can we do that? See, if it is a service, you can go with service command and stop that one. But these are not services, these are static pods. So there is a way. I don't need sudo here. Yeah. So this is a particular directory where any pod YAML file you keep, kubelet will make it a static pod. It will run it by itself. So what I will do is simply I will make a directory here. Here I need sudo, just m, and move all the files like etcd, YAML, all these things inside this m. See, where I have to keep sudo, I am not keeping, and where it's not necessary, I am keeping there. So see, now it's part of, all files are part of m directory. So if you put kubectl get pods, it will not work. Get node, it will not work. Why? Because all static pods have stopped. We have stopped it. So now what we will do is go inside this directory, sudo, we will change the mount path, and let me cross check once again, varlib etc/new. I don't want to do any typos. Already we have taken enough time. Now sudo vi etcd .yaml. So here what we can do is directly go to the mount path. Here the path we can change here in this file. After that, just save it and come back. Now the moment you place all these YAML files in its previous position, like move everything 2 steps back. Again, you need to give sudo. I have given it. Now if I go back 2 steps, ls, see, everything is part of etcd Kubernetes manifest file. Now I can delete this yum file, and there is no need of that. As it is an empty directory, I can go with this command. Now I can go to my home directory. Now, as per our understanding, we have successfully changed the path, the mounting path from varlib etcd to varlib etcd new, which is restored from our previous snapshot, which is having 3 pods as a part of it. So now if I do kubectl get pod, I should get those 3 pods. Otherwise, whatever we have learned till now is a myth. It's running, right? So the concepts are right, genuine, you don't need to worry, and that's it. I hope you understood the concept, what we have discussed till now. If you are having any kind of doubt, feel free to reach me on LinkedIn, or you can comment your queries. We will get back to you soon. Have a great day. See you. Bye bye.